I know what the offensive line they're saying it. So right now, just talking about edge, drafting one each round. What makes sense in the third round? There were some guys that I thought of, but this guy, Byron Young, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay. His story, he's like the edge version of Kurt Warner. Now, I had Kurt Warner on my show. I'm not trying to diminish Kurt Warner, but Cam, I don't know if you know this guy's story. You're going to love it if you don't.
Yeah.
Assistant manager at Dollar General.
Yeah.
He goes JUCO, and it's during the COVID season. And someone just happens to be taking video, and like, because they were practicing, they weren't playing games. They just practiced. And his practice went viral. All these SEC schools reach out to him. He picks the first one that reached out to him, Tennessee. He goes to Tennessee. He's a baller. He'll be in the NFL. He's 25. That's the big knock on him, right? And he's 25, but still needs to refine things because he hasn't been playing that long, to be fair. But first off, the journey speaks volumes.
Yeah.
It tells me, one, this guy, there's no boundary where this guy's going to go.
Yeah.
There's no blockade that he's not going to run through. And so that is something when I'm talking about coachability, I'm talking about work ethic, the motor, which you see on tape. It's all there with this guy and Byron Young. He's got the best first step in the draft. I mean, he is so explosive. It is crazy. He doesn't have a lot of bend, and I'm not obsessed with bend. I know there are people that are like, oh, no bend, I'm not drafting, but you can still find guys that can work with their power. He doesn't have a ton of power, though. He's more of a speed guy and just makes it work. So he does need to get better with his hand usage because of that, because you don't want to be too one-dimensional. Like I mentioned, really high motor, and then he's very good run defender. So the stats, like I mentioned earlier for Will McDonald, I have them in front of me for Byron Young via PFF. 13.2 pass rush win rate, which is really good considering he doesn't really have much power to him. He's a speed rusher without really much hand usage, and his pass rush plan is all right. You know what I mean? So that's still pretty good, 13.2. And then his run stop rate is among the absolute best in college football at 18.8%. We just talked about Will McDonald at 5.6, and I told you that's not a bad number considering he was playing out of position. 18.8 is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
So put some respect on this guy's name.
Yeah, no, I feel that. And, it's funny because I saw your list come through and I was like, okay, let me rearrange mine a little bit. But, with Byron, like you talked about his journey. No matter what happens, he's able to move forward. And I think the Rams, we need that, right? After last season, we need players like no matter what adversity hits, they're able to move forward. So I think that's extremely important. But the second thing, going back to the captain piece, I mean, my man is, you're right, assistant manager at Dollar General. Then he goes and, works at a Circle K. And then he fast forward, goes to Georgia Military Academy and then goes to Tennessee. So what I'm seeing is he's a leader, no matter if he's at the Dollar General, no matter if he's at a Circle K, no matter the arena, he's a leader. And the Rams need exactly that, Jake. So I'm not even talking about his gameplay. I'm talking about what he's doing off the field. And so I think that's extremely important. And back to your point about the bendability for his actual play. He is more straight line. He's more of that old school player. I could have seen him playing back in the day where, they're just running, they're bull rushing a couple moves, 1 or 2, 3 moves, and then they're getting the sack. He's been successful in the sack game, about 7 sacks his senior year. One thing that I'm not worried about, though, is his toolkit because he's going to see Aaron Donald, right? Anybody who's going to the Rams, they're going to see the best pass rusher. I don't want to say ever to do it, but, top 3.
Ever to do it.
Okay, there you go. You said it. Top pass rusher ever to do it. I know Von Miller, they do like a pass rush camp in the offseason. I think Aaron Donald goes to that as well. Aaron Donald's getting more knowledge from Von Miller and from those folks that are doing that pass rush camp, and even if he's doing his own pass rush camp, but players who aren't as dynamic and don't have those tools in their belt, they're going to learn it, right? They're going to learn it through osmosis.
You're going to see that jump chop, man.
The jump chop. And that's something that Robert Quinn actually taught Aaron Donald, right? And so I think if these guys have the skill, if they have the will, if they have the leadership capabilities and the intangible things off the field, Aaron's going to teach them. I'm not even worried. Aaron's going to teach them. So I do see Byron as I want to say I want to see him become more dimensional, right? Once he comes to the NFL, I want to see him expand his game with Aaron. That'll be great. But I do see him as an old school player, like you said, stopping the run. That's extremely important because that means Aaron Donald can eat. If Byron stops the run, that means Aaron Donald's coming from the other side. So that's always a win-win. One thing I would like to see, though, like you said, is the bend. He might not have it in his game, but whether it's yoga, whether it's, Pilates, figuring out.
Unlock it.
You unlock it. There you go. You unlock it.
I mean, yeah, no, I get that, man. I think, and that's the thing, though, is like there are some things to his game, like he needs to improve. He doesn't have a giant toolbox, which if he goes to the Rams, I'm not going to be worried.
Yeah.
Because, guys like Morgan Fox, they take off, they go somewhere else, and like he's still making things happen.
Yeah,
for the Chargers.
Joseph Day, same thing.
Yeah. You stay around Aaron Donald and he's like a sponge. You know what I mean? Like it's just, so I mean, yeah, I think when you look at him, obviously he's not going in the first round, and even first rounders have things they need to work on. Every prospect does.
Yeah.
But being 25, I can't stress enough, does not bother me in the slightest. If you care about age, then tell me right now, do you wish that the Rams didn't draft Cooper Kupp because he's on the older side? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how I look at it.
And also, too, going back to our last podcast, right? We talked about the Rams being successful in the draft. Like that's the goal. We talked about a 4 to 5 year contract, and we need these draft picks to be successful and to be around.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I sent you a meme from the Jets. I think it was Robert Saleh and his GM, and how they approach the draft and how every time they win with their picks. And I was like, the Rams need to match that same energy, right? And like, even if this young man is 25 years old, he's going to last through that contract. And if he lasts through that contract and he's still around in 2 to 3 years, that means he was a successful pick. And that's the goal here. If the guy's 25, he can play until he's 35, and he can call it a day. But for right now, he's ready to go. If he's 25, that means he's more mature. He was a captain on the team that he got to within 2 years. So that's what the Rams need right now. We need guys that are ready. We don't need guys who aren't. Jake, we don't need guys who aren't ready. We need guys we talked about it. We need guys that can, once they get drafted, their jerseys sell out because the Rams fans are buying it. The Rams fans are showing up in those seats, and we're going to see him stop those runs and sack the quarterback. He's a little bit older, which is great because he doesn't have to the off the field stuff. We don't have to worry about that because the guy has clearly worked right prior to going to football, and he knows what the value of not playing football. He knows what that is, and so he's going to grind that much harder on the field. So I think the things he brings to the Rams are invaluable, and sign him up.
Absolutely. Yeah. The actor John Hamm, he almost gave up acting at age 36.
There you go.
I mean, hey, I can't stress that enough. Like, yes, age eventually does matter, right? Because you get old and then you can't play football anymore. Right. But 25 is still in your prime.
That's prime.
So at the very freaking least, like you said, you can get through a 4-year deal or a 5-year, whatever. You can get through that.